I was wondering, what is your biggest trick when you're traveling, going on a cruise, to stay alcohol free, going on a cruise, going to a wedding, um, going to the ocean? All these things are huge triggers for me. And so I'm curious. I know for me, playing the tape forward is a big one, but that doesn't always stop me. What do you got going on?
I travel with a physical toolkit. I make physical recovery toolkits. I've found them really helpful for me in lots of ways, but in travel, and I have they start really small. Um,
I want to
I
see
have
what
like
I was
a
gonna say.
pocket one that just has things like something that will change how it has a pen, paper, a wedding photo, which is a reminder of why has a rock because I'm that kind of person. Has a something to change lip balm, lavender wipe, the way to change my smell. I have my recovery chip, which is a reminder of the time that I have not drunk so far. And I have bigger ones. I have some on my desk. This is just weird, but that are bigger, that have things like snacks, tea, like a relaxing oil, again, like a book, Band-Aid. And again, yeah, this one has my wedding picture, and then on the back is some graffiti and the cement out in front of, I think it was Club Evol from the 80s that says Karen loves Kathleen.
Oh,
I know, isn't that precious? Just a reminder, like the physical toolkit is something that I can put in my pocket. They get to be as big as a rolling kit, I swear. Like if I'm going someplace, like if I were to go to Ireland, for instance, I would need a big physical toolkit. I haven't done that sober yet. It's something that I've thought of, but I have never spent a moment sober in Ireland. And I don't know, it's one I'm thinking ahead towards, that like, what will I put in that toolkit? But there'll be things that remind me and help me through those moments of craving and things that just simply change how I feel. I also have one that's like an electronic version, a list of 12 things to do or 13 things to do before I drink or die, as in do drugs or kill myself, like just to go through that list. And like some of them, it's like videos of goats leaping about. Some of it's like a short meditation. Some of it's just the reminder, again, a photo of my beloved family to remind myself, to put myself first before just checking out other ways to numb or soothe myself besides drinking. I love to travel. And it's good for me to have like a physical thing to carry with me.
where are you going to go to Ireland, Kathleen? I want to know because I'm half Irish, so I want to know where you go.
I don't know yet. Seems
have you
really.
Have you been?
Yes,
yeah.
Several times as a young adult and as a child, but I have not spent a moment sober in Ireland.
Me neither. That is one of those. Like my Irish family came to England for my sister's wedding last summer.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
I'm with my Irish family in England, not drinking, but I haven't done the go to Ireland and not drink thing yet. So I'm the same as you. Like I totally need to make sure that's planned out when I go on holiday, because the things to do there are to go to the pub. There's nothing else to do, right? That's it. You can go to the pub or go to a coffee shop. I mean, there's other stuff to do, right? But I never explored those other things because I was in the pub. So I think that's going to be my strategy, is to explore the things that I've never explored. Like, because I used to go to Ireland every year as a child, like spend my whole summer holidays in Ireland and, in my teenage years. And then when I came out, I kind of started to go less because I thought everyone would be homophobic in Ireland and it would be difficult. And then after a few years out, I kind of went back to Ireland and everyone was okay and it was fine. And actually they're really quite open in Ireland, where I thought they wouldn't be, because they're a big Catholic, country. And I just thought it'd be really weird going back there. But in Ireland, it's one of the only European countries they had to have a referendum to ask the people if it was okay for them to legislate and make gay marriage legal. And they had a referendum and the people voted for it. So the people actually said, yes, we should have it, right? So that's huge, I think. But definitely going to Ireland is going to be one of those. It's mad because all those years that I went there, and I don't even know some of the stuff that actually goes on there, right? Because I was in the pub. I was in the pub, or I was recovering from being in the pub, or I was waiting to go to the pub. One of those three states kind of constantly. So and I haven't been on holiday yet, Darcy. I've been away, I suppose, but not what I would call like getting on an aeroplane, like flying somewhere, sitting on a beach, like any of those kind of holidays yet. So I'm going to go with Kathleen and build some kind of toolkit.
I'm building mine in my head right now. I think it's going to include some chocolate.
Let's have some. Yeah, chocolate, sweet things, definitely.
Well, go ahead, Justin. Go ahead.
I used to go away on vacation or something, or wedding or whatever, come back and someone say, how was it? And I would be like, that's a really good question, because I really don't even remember. The only thing I would remember was the feeling of being hungover. And that was no different than when I wasn't on vacation. It was just the feeling. So I remember I went on vacation right after I stopped drinking, and I remember sitting on the beach and just being like so still and like hearing the waves and feeling the sand. And it was like the first time I had really been present, and it was like probably the mid-afternoon morning time. So to be present, to be not hungover, and to just feel like so like calm, it was like that felt like very like what a vacation should feel like, instead of just a continuation of the same thing I did at home carried on to a vacation with the feeling of the hangover. So what I do is, when I do these things, I kind of do, kind of play the tape for it a little bit, but I kind of have like a rendition, like Kathleen used to have like a physical pack. Like I try to remember the physical sensations of the feeling of a hangover and wanting another drink, and just remind myself I'm free from that. And that really allows me to be present. And that feeling of being present makes me want to continue that feeling into the next day. I remember sometimes I've been on some cruises, and, I got like the soda package instead of the alcohol package. And I would just take inventory of people, not judging them, but just kind of like putting myself in their shoes, right? It's really hot. They're drinking. How are they going to feel in 4 hours from now when it's like 3 o'clock in the afternoon? And then on a cruise, you get to see that, because you see them again a few hours later. And again, it's just reminding myself of being present and not being physically sick, because I tried really hard to associate the feeling of being physically sick with alcohol, and try to get rid of all the pleasurable feelings I ever had with it, and just associate not drinking with the positive feelings. So I try to just remind myself too, like if I go to a family event or anything that there's alcohol, not so much anymore because it's much more meaningless now, but I'd say when I first started was, okay, I'm gonna get there at 2 o'clock. I'll leave by, let's say 8 o'clock. And all the work that I put into 2 o'clock of not drinking is not gonna be destroyed by that time. Like it's just, there's nothing worth it. Like I wanna come home, I wanna feel good, and I wanna continue my life as if life continues, because alcohol really, for me, just put like a pause on every, I don't know if you hear that, put a pause on everything in life. So yeah.
That's amazing. I especially love the piece how you were talking about how you want to remember how you feel, present and not, or you were reminding yourself, how did you put it? You were reminding yourself of what would happen if you did drink. and that was a big deterrent for you. Yeah, I really
Yeah.
like that.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Yeah. Thanks.
Lance, you were next. I
So
think.
yeah, this is a great topic for me. And so I remember coming home from vacations sometimes and thinking I need a vacation from a vacation, because I would come back so toxic and feeling so wiped out from drinking that it wasn't a vacation at all. So when I started going to the mountains, going to the Sierras and spending a week, in the mountains with friends, or going to Hawaii, which I've been really blessed to be able to do, to not have alcohol be an issue has been so freeing. I remember so many vacations or even just weekends away where I would wake up and just feel horrible and have to do all this detox stuff. I remember like jogging, trying to sweat it out. It's so lovely not to Jones for it, to want it, to be able to sit down at a meal and it just not, where's the wine? Where's the drink? It's so lovely to be able to relax when you're actually trying to relax. And for me, taking alcohol out of the equation has been so fucking relaxing. And the last time I went to Hawaii, and I've been lucky to go several times with my family and best friends, it was just lovely to, so many days in Hawaii I spent miserable and, couldn't wait for the evening. We used to call them Maui-politans. It was guava juice and vodka. That was our drinks. And I'm really clear that, what I loved about the pause and being able to drink mindfully before I stopped drinking was to really go, is this buzz really so great? And what for me I noticed was that, for instance, if I was drinking to get rid of anxiety, I'd be like, I'm buzzed. I've got the euphoria, but the anxiety's still there. If I really cue in, it's still there. It didn't go anywhere. It's just kind of cloaked over. And then with the euphoria, I was like, is euphoria really that great? No, because euphoria wants more euphoria. Euphoria is like, oh, I'm high. I don't want to go down. No, don't go down. I want to stay up here. I want to stay up here. That's not fun. That's not necessarily enjoyable. So there's really nothing about any of it that attracts me. And yeah, the last time I went to Hawaii and had alcohol in the equation, I enjoyed it so much. And there wasn't, like coming home on the plane, I used to have a drink, to sort of like get rid of the blues of coming home. And I was like, oh, I don't have that. I don't have any of it. It's just so fucking freeing. So I was terrified about these things, about not drinking on vacations. And now it doesn't even cross my mind because I'm so clear. It's so much better without booze. Everything's better without booze. And vacations are just a huge example of that.
Oh my God, I love that. I'm just picturing you in Hawaii. I'm picturing hula dancing. I'm picturing a lot of tiki torches. I'm picturing coconut bras. I'm just having so much fun.
Yeah, as opposed to like going to the beach hungover, like, maybe if I swim in the ocean, I'll feel better. All that. Just having none of that is so lovely. And I don't do a whole lot of hula dancing, but snorkeling, sitting on the lanai, reading in the morning, getting up early, not having a hangover.
Pineapple.
Yeah.
Speaking of pineapple, Soraya.
Oh yeah. Am I the last one? Wow. That was,
Yes, my little pineapple.
I loved all of that. I've traveled quite a bit in my alcohol-free life, and oh man, so many things came up. The morning for me is such a sacred time in my regular life, and when I'm traveling, the morning is like it's like it's when I do my writing, it's when I have my coffee, it's when I'm just like fully present and energized in my day. And the fact that like I was stealing that from myself with booze for so long, like the morning was this like come to Jesus moment of like, I mean, let me not say come to Jesus, was like this, oh my God, something has to change. What the fuck? Like all the red alarms going off, that like the morning was gone. Like the real morning was in the back of all those alarms. And it was like, I can't believe how long I put myself through that kind of like robbery of the things that I love, like the morning and like planning my day when I'm traveling. Like, what are we doing today? Like, what activities are we doing? And looking like sincerely looking forward to everything that I'm doing. And that is just like, you can't, like, you couldn't pay me to drink. Like, you couldn't pay me to drink that away, you know? So that feels really real. And then I was thinking about what Kathleen was talking about the toolbox, because for me too, like I was actually just away this last week, and I wasn't necessarily traveling for pleasure. I was traveling for other things, but I was in environments where people were drinking, which is not actually, I'm not usually in environments where people are drinking in my regular life. Like I'm just not really in them. And I was, and it affected me to the point that I was like, I need to listen to a podcast like about like recovery this morning, or like I need to listen to one of TNM's interviews, or I need to listen to Glennon Doyle like talk for a minute. Like I needed the like pinch of who am I, like what is my reality, like I am a person that doesn't drink for all of these reasons, and it's really important to me. And I'm in this place where I'm with a bunch of strangers and they're all drinking and it seems normal and it's affecting me. And so what can I do to kind of bring myself back to the present of who I am, because I have the privilege of living in conditions in my life where I have the reflection of people not really drinking around me all the time. So I guess like that present moment reality of like, I act like not drinking is like, has given me my life. And when I just see people doing it willy-nilly, I don't need to compare myself to them. I can like accept that, but I also like, if I need to check in with that deeper part of me, that I have the resources, like the podcast, the books, the talking to you guys, the like, hey, Lance, hey, Darcy, like, can you check in an hour? Cause I need to talk to someone that gets it. And you guys are like, yep, I'll be there. And like, we can connect. Like that is just real when you're traveling for me still at this point. Like I forget. I'm like externally around people that are doing things, and I all of a sudden like want to do that. And I'm like, no, I don't actually want to do that. I just want to connect. But like,
Yes.
I don't want to connect by doing the thing you're doing. There's other ways to connect. And some people I don't want to connect with. Like I don't want to connect with drunk people a lot of the time. And that's okay too. And I can take myself out of that situation and look at that as an opportunity, instead of looking at it as like isolation or I'm different or I'm missing out. So
So amazing.
yeah, that, because I feel like that's important, because it does happen. Like it still happens when I'm in conditions of people doing this thing that I've created this whole life around this thing that I don't do. But it's not actually about the fact that I don't drink anymore. It's about so much more. But in those moments, it feels like it's like this really like kind of shallow thing of like, well, why can't I just? And it's like, no, it's like the Matrix. It's like, that's just, it's not real. Like it's, what's actually real is that you need to remove yourself from the situation. And there's nothing wrong with that. Like it's an opportunity. So yeah, but I love this question. I love what everybody said.
Sometimes you might even need to run to the bathroom stall, run to the bathroom.
Oh yeah. I've
Text
done
a friend.
I've done all the running to the
All of it.
bathrooms, running in the closet, like running around the block, like saying somebody's calling me and nobody's calling me, just to get quiet with myself, or just text somebody and have them respond and be like, I got you, I'm here. Like, hello, welcome back. Like, you know, there's no shame.
Right back in a moment.
There's no shame in that at all. It's like necessary.
Oh, I love this. God, what great conversation from this question. I guess one thing that I would say maybe is like another practical tool for our audience is what I noticed helped me a lot was doing a little bit of recon of where you're going if you can. Luckily, I can't believe well, I'm so glad that it's becoming more and more popular to alcohol-free stuff, not drinking. So you can find a lot more alcohol-free drinks in stores. And I went to a wedding in Iowa, in a really small town in Iowa, and there was a kombucha brewery there. I could not believe it. So doing a little bit of investigating where you're going to see what's available, look in the restaurants. Sorry, my phone just went on low power mode there and I lost everyone. Recon, you guys. Explore where you're going, see if you can find out, look at some menus, look up the neighborhoods where you're going, what's going on the cruise that you can do besides drinking. Any of that kind of stuff will be helpful too.
I'm sorry, what's recon?
When you check and see what's going, you look and see what's happening before, when you go investigate first something before you go there.
How do those words connect to that recon? What is that?
Reconnaissance. That's what it is.
So like
Reconnaissance.
like if you know you're going to be going to a restaurant, you go and you check out the menu first, or maybe you go and you walk in and you see how the setup is. You check it out first.
And why is it called recon though? I just don't understand the breakdown of those words.
A reconnaissance mission in the army is where they send someone ahead to have a little look to see what's going on before they actually send in the troops. So if you're doing a reconnaissance mission, you're going to check it all out first before you send everyone over the hill.
That's right.
Cool, thank you.
We have a cunning linguist in the house here to put it all together.
No, we don't. No, we don't.
You just wrapped it all up.
No, that's a different word, Darcy. That's a different word that you just used there. That wasn't Kathleen got it.
Oh my God, this was so fun. Let's have more conversations like this, guys.
Right.
Invited everyone new. You would see the biggest gift would be for me, and the kind of touch could say thank you for being a friend.
I labeled myself as gay.
Looks like it stayed in gallery view, right?
I'm not sure you'll know until you actually receive the
Okay.
thing and the code. I don't know, because I don't know. Lance, you recorded it last time. We were in gallery view, but then the recording came out of just whoever was talking. So it just jumped between whoever was talking. So I don't know. It might work. It could. Fingers crossed. Let's hope it does.
Great. Yeah.